I'm Bill.
And I'm Candace. And we're the
Disruptors.
Wait, you kind of sounded sad there, Bill. I'm Bill. You don't like your name anymore?
I have to work with you. It's hard enough to get enthusiastic when I have to come in here and be abused.
Well, you could have stayed home at the home. I could have left you at the home.
Yeah, it's very nice of you. And they'd like you not to park in the lobby anymore. That is really getting to be rough on the furniture.
As much as we're paying, I should own that lobby by now.
You should by now. That's very true. Today we have a special guest. Do you remember who it was, or do we have a problem?
Listen, I do not have Alzheimer's. I'm not like you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, oxygen does come in and out of my brain.
That's good.
So today we are privileged and very blessed to have Doug Hudak of BAM Design, Branding, Advertising, and Marketing.
How you doing?
We're great.
Well, that started things off well, didn't it?
Bill, you did record that, right?
I certainly did.
Well, welcome to the show. We're so fortunate to have you.
Thank you. I'm privileged and honored. I'm excited to do this. I've never been on a podcast before. It doesn't even feel funny.
No, not yet.
No, it's just a conversation. Well, you are here with Bill. So, there might be a little bit of a stretch. We have to give a lot of patience.
But remember, we had the producer. He's in with us today.
Yes, yeah. Patty's here.
Hopefully you'll stay awake for this, no snoring.
And, Roger the Rooster, he is out and about. So he might make a guest appearance. We're never sure.
Very true. Well, go ahead. I'll let you, since you've jumped in and already ruined the intro, I'll let you finish the whole show.
Well, you were so low of energy. I was just trying to boost you up.
I see.
Next time, I think we should hire someone
ventriloquist? And I can sit on their knee?
No. I think that what we should do is actually hire a professional gooser. So that way, whenever you're low, they just come up and they pinch you. Right? Woo! See, that would have been more energy instead of, I'm Bill.
You guys are not even fair.
Oh, sure we are.
All right.
Doug does amazing work. And first of all, Doug, whatever intrigued you, first of all, about your craft? So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is going to be...
Wow. Are we going to go back into the Wayback Files? Or
whatever you feel like you want to share.
Okay.
Because, go ahead.
I'm a graphic designer. And how did I get to this point is, I think, what we're talking about. And so, yeah, if we're going to go way back, I've been an artist ever since I was a little kid.
Cool.
You could put me at the kitchen table with a jar of Play-Doh and come back 3 hours later and I would still be there, creating stuff. It's just what I really enjoyed doing. I always had a sketch pad in school. A lot of times I'd be in during recess cleaning my desk because I was doodling on my desk, during class. It's just what I love to do. In school, in high school, I took every art class that was available, not only because I was good at them and enjoyed them, but I knew I'd get a good grade.
See, Bill would eat the Play-Doh. He would get hungry, and that'd be a snack.
Oh, it would be, yeah. The green Play-Doh is really good. You have that.
He scared his mother a few times.
It's a different way of forming it.
Yes, it is. That's the extent of Bill's creative side.
Well, opening the lid was more creative than anything else.
The
so
poo emoji comes to mind right now.
Yes, of course.
Sure.
So, we went there.
Yeah, that's all right. We can do that. So, where do you draw inspiration from?
Well, I'll tell you what really inspires me, and that is the client. There's one thing that I will never get tired of hearing, and I'm not. And this is a pat on my own back, but I try to be modest.
It's okay. You can boast about it here. You're in a safe place.
But when I get an email back or a call back, and a client says, "You nailed it," that's like something that will just fire me up, and keep me inspired for, a long time to come. And that's what I love. I love working really hard on something so that the client will love what they get and really be proud of it, to use it for themselves. And so that does inspire me. But inspiration to create comes from all different places. I've got books and there's the internet, and just inspiration can come from anywhere. I'm always saving little bits and pieces of. Actually, I stole one of your business cards from out
awesome.
there. Because it was a cool design on it, and I go, "Oh, this is neat." I might have to incorporate, not steal it, but incorporate that kind of a feel, in a future design.
Oh, I think that's really. I draw a lot of inspiration off of. Sometimes Chris and I will go to plays, or I'll sit there. Music, or we'll take a long drive. And I think it's interesting at how people find inspiration from a variety of different, a great story, that you can paint those mind pictures.
Yeah.
So when you work with clients, because I know sometimes in working with clients with businesses, often they'll say, I'm not really too sure what do I want, right? When I'll go, what are you wanting to create? I want to stay in business. And you're like, yay, I want you to stay in business. But that doesn't tell me anything either. So I can only imagine your conversations when somebody goes, I want a logo. That's great. Brilliant. You need one. But
and for my next magic
where
trick.
do you even start? I mean, that's just the logo. We can stay just there.
Yeah.
What on earth? I mean, what's the creative process other than question? And maybe some of those questions, what are some of those questions? Why don't we start there?
So, yeah, you've actually done a great job of pointing out possibly the worst case scenario when it comes to a logo, and that is someone who has no idea what they want, but they just will know it when they see it. So you have no direction. Mm-hmm. But that's where the question comes in. You have to have a good conversation with them, and you want to find out what are their likes, what are their dislikes, what if they have. Well, I guess they wouldn't have anything in mind, but then you have to research their competition and see what their competition is doing, because you want to represent them accurately, but you also want them to stand out. You want them to be the one that's noticed in the crowd of all the others. And so then it really comes down to creating something, getting as much information as you can, and then creating something. Get started. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got to get the ball rolling. So you make a few renditions of a logo and you hand it over. And this is the back and forth process that happens all the time. It's like you just have to get started so that they see something and can go from there. It's like, okay, I like this, but I don't like this. Okay, great. I have a little bit of direction. Now I can, chip away at this thing until we get to exactly what the customer likes.
Wow,
you're a
what
patient
a process.
man.
Yes. Heaven.
I'm thinking, we've actually got St. Doug here. And,
yes.
but no, I totally understand, because I come at it too, with, okay, how about this? Usually people know what they don't want. They don't often know what they do want. And so
I think it's a problem of we are so bombarded with images and stuff in the marketing area and advertising. And they know that they want something that's going to stand out, and they know it's very, very technical, or are not able to, in their mind, figure out how they're going to make it work. How that color, that combination of the fonts, background, how that's going to stand out.
Yeah. And just last night I talked to a customer, and he had ideas for colors for his logo. And he wanted to use them on different colored backgrounds because he wanted to embroider shirts for his employees. And he said, but I have no idea what that's going to look like. I guess, it's just kind of a hit and miss. I go, no, I can put those colors in your logo, and I can put your logo on those different colored backgrounds so you can actually see. Of course, it's not an exact representation of embroidery, but you'll have a good idea of whether it's going to work or not.
You're all about customer service, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's awesome. That's a lot. We had dedicated one whole show griping about the lack thereof.
Boy,
where we've gone wrong just in the customer service industry. I know the customer's not always right, but they are paying a bill. Yeah. There is a monetary value, and to discount that, I think you're really kind of robbing yourself. So, working with you would be fun. It'd be pleasurable.
I'm all about fun. I do enjoy having.
So is Bill. He's really happy.
Oh, happy all the time. Happy.
I'm Bill.
I'm just so happy, yeah. I try to contain myself, yeah. It's buzz.
How painful is it for you, Doug, whenever you look at different marketing stuff that somebody did at home on their computer and they're representing their business?
That's
Wait for
painful.
it. Dun, dun, dun. Right?
It is, yes. No, there's, yeah. I feel I want to help. Our producer is snoring.
I know
that. Patty's on break again.
Once in a while, people have said that they sleep through our podcast. Now our producer is under the table, sleeping and snoring. How discouraging can this get? That's
okay. Okay, where were we? We were talking about, marketing materials. I would love to, and that is a touchy situation because I don't want to insult anybody, but I would love to help them
rearrange.
Well, I tell you what. Let's ask a different question. How about if we do this? Tell me about the value of having something professionally designed versus designing something yourself.
That's a good question.
It's huge. It's and people don't often value, or they will leave that for last. Working on some of their stuff, because they're into their job and they don't always think of, well, it's okay, I'm doing fine. But I've rebranded companies, 15 years old to 5 years old, and just an update on already marketing materials and logos, but just having branding that's standard and consistent throughout is such a big plus for a company, because there's nothing more confusing than having several different versions of a logo or a logo in different fonts. You almost don't know if it's the same company. I think it's huge to have really good quality, well-designed marketing materials.
It's always interesting breaking into your silence there, like Quaker Oats. They have had that same graphic for all these years, and immediately the color and everything, bang, you know exactly what it's all about.
Bam.
Well, I think bam.
We got a bam in there.
How often should a company rebrand? How often should they look at their logo and, their colors and things like that?
As Bill was just talking about, Quaker Oats has the same logo. I would like to look into that and see if it has changed, because I did a presentation on branding, and there's logos that you wouldn't think have changed, but they've changed like numerous times. Starbucks and Coca-Cola, big companies.
Yeah, Starbucks has, yes.
Pepsi, they've all updated their branding over the years. So there's definitely waiting too long, because I've rebranded companies that had the same brand since the 70s, and they definitely looked like they were still in the 70s.
Sure.
Color, fonts, background, everything was brown, 70s.
The company that I rebranded that was only 5 years old, it's because they started out and they came up with a logo for the time when they started their company, but now 5 years down the road, they've got a little bit of a different direction. A little bit of maybe a different client base, and so they wanted to, represent that, better. So it's all.
I always looked at it just as an evolution of a business, and that when in the beginning, when the contracts were signed, and things like that, you're doing the best that you can, and of course, life always our best teacher, right? You decide, and you get much more savvy, because most people who start businesses don't start off with a degree. They start off with a passion. Yeah. And of course, all the business aspects become second, right? I just want to bake those cupcakes, or whatever that might be. Yep. And then, okay, and here's a name. You mean I have to have that too? Yes. And okay, I have to develop a coupon. What does that mean? So it seems like the process is always second, third, or fourth, or sixth down the line. And then comes the justification for the money spent. And so I find, investing in a good graphic designer is worth their weight in gold, because you can reuse what they've designed for you. If it's not a once and done project. And so Bill's taking a look at your brand new
I really like it. This is, it's really, the name stands out. Bang, the fireworks behind it.
Bam, not bang.
Pardon me. Let me.
Now Bill's adding letters to your, and he talks about me. Once again, we released him from the home.
It says web.
It does. It does. Wow. Well, okay. Moving right along. The colors look great, though, and the factor that it catches your eye. Something like that laying on the table, just bang.
Bam.
No. This case, it was bang. But I'm now leaving the show. It's been fun. My new host over there, Dan
and he's
Stompton.
always talking about replacing me. That's it.
Well, I got it. For golly's sake.